welcome back. Hope you're having a good day. One of my many Ficus Microcarpa. This is actually the smaller clump off of that larger clump I just pruned just the other day. If you've been watching my channel, I think it's maybe 4 or 5 videos back. I just actually pruned the top of that larger clump. And then I actually pruned the Campeche tree that I had sitting in there in it too. This is the other half. Again, this is a bigger clump at one point. In the middle of it just kind of rotted away, so I had to separate them. I got this live half and then the other live half. First thing I just want to get into is, you know, a lot of these beginner forums, and not even just beginner forums, just plant forums in general. I see a lot of people, when they see a ficus with roots growing out of the bottom of a pot, they think that they have to immediately repot because there's just something wrong with that. And really, I mean, it is absolutely nothing to worry about. As long as the tree is healthy and the soil is draining, you know, getting these coming out of here is really no big concern to me at all. I usually don't get them quite this big, but I just take and prune them off. And then I just know the tree is going to be fine. You know, as like I said, I've actually had on some ports. I've had some of the drainage holes get completely plugged up by the roots, and then they won't drain right. Now you want to make sure that the pot is still draining fine, but this pot is draining just great. I have good bonsai soil in it. I did repot this 3 years ago. I'll put that link in the description. I just had to find it today. I wanted to figure it out. So. And then I haven't really updated it for about a year. This has been what I've been thinking of as the back side. This is actually the side that was up against the rotted out part of the tree that I had. And then I've just been thinking of this as the front. I know right now it just kind of looks like a big ball of foliage to you guys. Doesn't look like anything different. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hard prune every part of the apex, and then probably just kind of, we'll say selectively prune the growth down here. I'd like to try to make it a little bit wider at the base than at the top. So I'll kind of want to pull that back in a little bit and then prune down there. Let me see if I can level this guy off a little bit better. All right, once I got those roots off there, I kind of forgot that pot never has set right in that turntable. Since I know I'm going to hard prune everything up top, I am just going to start off by coming in and pretty much cutting all the growing tips I see. I think I've explained why I do this before. It makes it a little easier to go ahead and just kind of get some of the bulk of the leaves out of there. If I start trying to defoliate first, then a bunch of the leaves kind of fall into the plant. Just makes them a little bit harder to remove. Alright, and now that I've done that, what I plan to do next is I get in here and pretty much get all of the leaves off of what would be considered the apex. It should make it much easier for me to kind of see down on what I'm doing with the bottom half of the tree. And so I'm going to go ahead and get that going here. Alright, sometimes as I go through these things, I wish I had like a GoPro on my head so you guys could see exactly what I'm seeing. But you can tell I've already got, you know, most everything pruned off of basically half of the top of the clump. And when I see things down here, sometimes for the purpose of the video, I want to stay in, you know, the apex or, you know, just kind of go in order. But then I see things down here that I know I want to take out. And it really does make it so much easier to see if you can take out the little pieces that you know you're going to eliminate right when you see them. Just there, you know, especially if you got, you know, tool in your hand and they're in a good spot, just to go ahead and take out right then. And then after that, like I said, makes it much easier to see. Now I can actually see right here, that level there is probably just going to have this branch on it. And this ficus sap drives me crazy. Sometimes I want to take a little break and wash my hands off, but then I realize that I'm just going to dive back in and mess my hands all up again. I think it's going to make things a little easier to see too. I remember if I went back and watched these videos, I do remember these two branches here, they popped on the back. I thought they looked a little out of place, but I was thinking I'd let them go for a little while. I don't want them to sacrifice, I just want them there. They would be, this is the back side of the tree, they would be back branches. I'm going to go ahead and take them off. Again, it's going to make the, not take them off, I just pruned the pruning tip and now I'm taking the leaves off. You guys probably see all the ficus sap coming out of there. And I would like to just mention that some people, if you have a latex allergy or anything, ficus, some people do have a reaction to ficus sap. I do not. I just, after a while sometimes, after, a half hour, 40 minutes of working on a tree, it just gets irritating, have it all over you. I did want to just kind of point out here that this is another branch I kind of let go. And then if this one had popped on its own, I don't know if you guys can see that there, this one comes right out of the crotch where that one is. It did not pop on its own. And so, can't have two branches coming out of right the same spot on the trunk there. And then take that growing tip off. Alright, that brings us down here. Try to be a little more aware of trying to leave some length on some of these branches down here, just because, like I said, I would like it to kind of widen out some. I have noticed a lot of the longest branches are the crazy long shoots that these ficus trees get that you don't really want to keep. Alright, one last little bit of a closer look at it there. Some reason. I guess that's been looking awkward to me, but and just go ahead and let it leaf back out probably for another year. I have been trying to kind of leave my trees a little alone a little more. That's why the videos haven't been coming quite as fast as they used to. Realized I was kind of overworking a few of them, so just try to let it grow and develop a little more and see what it looks like.